It had been a difficult journey to become second in command. Everybody on the ship wanted higher positions. It got you everything. Better quarters, better food, better pay. And seeing as how only the captain got to promote people, it was good practice to stay in his good graces. And so I'd advised, worked, and fought like a maniac at every opportunity to prove myself worthy of higher rank. So when the last second in command dropped dead after getting shot in the eye, it was my time to shine. I'd been catapulted from new recruit to the right-hand woman of Captain Falloff in less than 7 months, something I was damn proud of. Cactus, second in command of a Stellosian freelance ship. I liked the sound of that. And now was my first time on a big score in my new position. My ears were practically flopping with stress. There was no real reason to. We were 12, all armed and dealing with Castellians. They weren't so tough. The lot of us were waiting in a hidden asteroid hangar, at the edge of sector number 223-A. We were going to deliver 142 units worth of designer drugs. The good shit. The kind oligarchs take in their extravagant parties on their grav yachts, floating above the plebs. The rendezvous time had already passed, but we still waited. We needed that money badly. The ship was falling apart, and we really needed a replacement. The Castellian Fence's ship slowly grew from a point amongst the stars to fully visible as it decelerated and entered the atmospheric field, deactivating its gravitron projectors as it landed. Their cargo door opened with a hiss as our air mixed with theirs. 5 blue-furred bipeds with triangular heads and ears stepped out to meet us. "You're late," our captain said, drumming his finger pads along the top of one of the crates. "The trip was a little more complicated than you implied it would be," the Castellian said, walking up to our captain. "I said expect patrols." "You said light patrols. In what universe are Salonese frigates light?" "The one we live in. These things weren't exactly unguarded either," our captain answered, slapping the top of one of the truck crates. The Castellian captain gestured over to one of his crew, who shuffled up to us and tried to open the maglock, only for the display to show a bright red access denied. The captain yapped something in their strange language to her captain, who turned to us and said, "The code?" "Money first," our captain answered, his face as impassive as a bulkhead. I wondered how he did it so easily. It took all my will to keep my face as still as his. "I'm not paying you until I know it's real. Though open them yourself if you want, but I need you all to verify it." The captain shot me a look, and I wiggled my ears in acknowledgement. I knew this look. Watch out for shady shit, it meant. I kept my hand near my pistol just in case. The captain stepped forward and opened one of the crates, making sure to hide his digits as he typed in the code. The crate's lock disengaged as he opened it, revealing rows upon rows of glass vials, filled with a cloudy pink fluid. 142 units of nebulous serum. Chemically pure, no cutting, no nothing. Just high-quality stuff. Go ahead. Scan them. Yeel, as she being referred to by the Castellian, walked over, scanning the vials one by one. The hangar was empty, but for the little beep of confirmation that played every few seconds. The whole process took a dozen minutes, until the Castellian was satisfied. "Here," he said, tossing our captain a credit tab. The Castellian started putting anti-gravity modules on the crates, and pushing the now hovering drugs into their ship. "Hey, gunkface!" our captain exclaimed. "That's 300. We said 400k. The tension sharply rose in the hangar. Hands were lowered upon guns, and the Castellians stopped pushing the crates. "You also said light patrols. Consider it a hazard discount for bad info." "Oh, hell no. A deal's a deal." Our captain stepped forward and put his hand on the crate of Nibbler serum. "A deal's a deal when all parts are fulfilled. Yours wasn't. Take your pay and leave before this gets ugly." The captain's ears were raised and bristling with anger, until he calmed himself and drew a knife. "There's 12 of us. I like our odds. I'm sure we can find someone else to buy this. Your ship too, after we wash the blood off," he said, and both captains steady shove it down. The Castellian gestured to one of his fellows and said, "Go wake up the human." My eyes grew wider. The Castellian might as well have drawn a neutron grenade and threatened to vaporize the asteroid. Everyone's hands rushed to draw their weapons. The tension was heavy before. It was crushing now. I briefly considered shooting the Castellian in the back before she could wake the beast. Everyone had heard of humans. Invincible alien warriors from a dead world. Some people said they were bulletproof, that their flesh was made of metal, or that they could shoot lasers with their eyes. Some of it was probably nonsense. But how much wasn't? I could see the fear in some of our men's eyes. Hell, I was downright terrified. "You're bluffing, else you'd have just called it by name," Captain Faloff said, deadpan expression on his face. "I said it like that to scare you. You're free not to believe me, but in 2 minutes you'll have your proof." The Castellan walked up to our captain until the knife was right in his face. A big predatory grin drew itself across his face. "You know about human sleep, Faloff? It's not like ours. It's deep, coma-like, and they need lots. They get angry when they don't get it. Have you ever seen an angry human? Because I'm going to tell her you're the reason she's awake. She won't take kindly to it." Jiriri, the biggest of our crew, stepped forward and said, "It's Captain Faloff to you, fuzzball, and we ain't scared of your boogeyman." The Castellan just smiled at him silently. The loud sound of boots on metal reverberated through the fence's ship, and an angry voice called out, "Sheesh, you blue fox bastard, my contract says 9 hours uninterrupted sleep. That was 4. If you didn't have a good fucking reason, I swear I'm going to rip your nuts off." A biped walked out from their ship up to the Castellan captain. It was huge, easily 17 hands tall. Jiriri was a big Selosian, a good 13.5 hands tall. He looked downright tiny next to that thing. It was hairless, save for the head, with beige-coloured skin. It looked at us with its strange blue and white eyes. I didn't know enough about humans to read its facial expression, but her voice and choice of words didn't suggest a good mood. "Nice to see you too, Saren. We're having a disagreement, let's call it, with these gentle people. They think they're being underpaid. I'd appreciate it if you forced the issue." The human looked us over before opening his mouth widely, inhaling and exhaling, in something I would eventually learn was called a yawn. "Fine, but after this I'm going back to bed." "You deal with this, you can sleep all day if you want." The human's face twisted into what I recognize as a grin, every instinct in my body screaming at me to leave. "Aye, aye, Captain," the human said. She stepped up to Jiriri, towering over him. "And what the hell are you bastards? You look like the fucked up remains of a gecko-rabbit orgy." "I don't know what that means, and I don't care. Neither do I care for your tone, human," Jiriri answered, craning his neck to stare down the giant before him. Captain Faloff looked around nervously before saying, "Let's just take our money and go, Jiriri. Come on, we're leaving." The human kept grinning, leaning down slightly to stare Jiriri directly in his large black eyes. "Listen to your captain, little thing, because I guarantee if you start this fight, I'll finish it." The Castellans reactivated the gravity modules on the crates and started hauling them within their ship. All the while, Jiriri's ears bristled with rage. "Captain," he said between gritted teeth, "are we really just going to roll over? Leave with a quarter of our payment missing?" "Just let it go," Captain Faloff said. The last of our cargo was loaded onto the Castellan ship. "Okay, let's go. Saren, good job," the other captain declared, a self-satisfied smile on his stupid little fuzzy face. The human stood back up to full height. "Pleasure doing business with you," she said, turning around and beginning to walk back to her ship. At that moment, Jiriri broke. He hissed and raised his pistol, shooting the human in the back. She instantly turned around, her eyes wide with what I could only presume was fury, before she brought down her fist like a hammer blow upon Jiriri's head. The crack we heard indicated nothing good. Jiriri grasped his head and wheezed what little breath was left out of his lungs, before beginning to stagger away. The human stepped forward, reached out and grabbed his leg before lifting him up. With a roar of anger, she swung him over her head, before throwing him at the asteroid wall with a loud splat. Jiriri didn't get up. I wasn't sure if he was dead, knocked out, or simply too wounded to move. The whole process took less than 3 seconds, and she stepped forward before shouting, "Anyone else?" Most of us remained still. Some of us dropped their weapons and raised their hands in surrender. "I see you, you little shit," she yelled, pointing towards one of our crewmates, Yis, who had raised her rifle. "And if you think that BB gun is going to kill me, you're an idiot." Yis dropped her rifle to the ground and backed up against the wall. A few seconds of silence later, the human turned around and walked back inside her ship, the captain closing their cargo door. Their graviton projectors engaged, and they lifted off, flying into the void of space, with 100,000 of our credits. "We should really get one of those," the captain sighed.